Okay, so for this week, we had a few things going on. So Monday, I didn't have this recording made beforehand, but we were on a shortened schedule, and we had Mrs. Davis come in and talk to you guys about Sterling Scholar. Um, if you were absent, I do have the Sterling Scholar applications. They need to be turned in by the 23rd, I do believe. So Friday the 23rd, either to Mr. Brackett or Mrs. Davis. On Monday, we read an article from News ELA. It was the article titled "The Ride of Her Life." You'll need to read this article and complete a soapstone organizer, which can be found on Canvas. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. We have completed these before. And you may submit it right here under the Soapstone 2 assignment. The Socratic seminar and the quiz for the end of Fahrenheit 451, we did not have enough time in class, so I'm going to go ahead right now and move it to Wednesday. We just, with the shortened schedule, Mrs. R and the Sterling Scholar conversation, it just did not happen. So those have been moved to Wednesday. We will be doing those Wednesday. So you'll need to have the novel finished and your Socratic seminar questions taken care of. On Wednesday, those are going to be the first things we take care of, because we're going to move on to a few different things in our new text. So we're going to go over what's called existentialism. Just as a crash course, existentialism is this idea that took place after World War II, the Great Depression, the Industrial Revolution reached its peak. All these things were happening that were changing. And this idea formed that a lot of people felt it was more about the organization, it was more about the factory, it was more about the nation rather than the individual. So they started looking at people and what roles people have or what control they have in their own lives. And that's what they focus on, is the individual. So existentialists believe that the individual is what was most important. Now with that, we had a movement which was called absurdism. Now absurdism is this idea that the human condition or human life does not have purpose. Well, that's pretty depressing, right? Just to think, oh, there's no meaning to anything. But it's a different perspective than just saying there's no purpose. And the example, our author of The Stranger, which is what we're going to read next, Albert Camus, he wrote this short thing, and I left a link on there. If you read it and include it in your podcast, I will offer extra credit. This idea of the myth of Sisyphus, or Sisyphus, I can never pronounce the Greek terms very well. There's a man who was punished, or he dies. He goes to the underworld. He asks Hades to let him go back to punish his wife because his wife didn't fulfill his dying wish. Well, long story short, Sisyphus goes back and kind of likes being alive, so he avoids going back to the underworld. So Hades goes out, captures him, brings him back to the underworld, and now he is punished. And his punishment is to push this big rock up a hill, and every time he pushes it up, no matter what he does, the rock falls back down. But over time, Sisyphus kind of learns to enjoy his struggle. The whole point of absurdism isn't that life has no meaning. It's there's always a struggle. There's always a constant struggle. It's the enjoyment of the struggle. It's the getting back up even when you know you're going to be knocked back down again. That's the belief. even though there's not a meaning behind, or necessarily a divine meaning behind doing something like retaking a test. But if you keep going and keep working, you've learned to enjoy that process, whatever that rock is. So there's a vocabulary sheet. We are going to fill that out as we go along and read through first part. This novella, it's a translation, so a lot of the vocabulary used doesn't match our common language because the translator tried to get words that matched the author's language. So we're going to fill out the vocabulary sheet as we go along, and we're going to read chapter 1. That's what we're going to look at. Now, with the move on Friday, or Monday with the schedule change, I'm not expecting us to finish chapter 1 in the vocab and the quiz all on Wednesday. I'm hoping we can, but some of this might go into Friday. And with Friday, you need to make sure you have your discussion done with peer replies. But then on Friday, if we have time, we are going to go into chapter 2 and 3 if we have time. I'm not expecting to complete either chapters, but I think we could start chapter 2. So if you have any questions about this week, please let me know. Thank you.